Hello folks, this is Margie Roy from 3dcuts.com, and today I'm doing the tutorial on my swinging gnome Christmas card. This is a little gnome in some birch trees with a Christmas tree that is three-dimensional. You can set him up and he swings quite nicely. This card comes with an envelope, or it will fit in a standard 6x9 booklet envelope. If I'm sending a lot, I like to use a standard envelope. If I'm just making one or two, I like to make an envelope for it. This is included in the design, and it fits right into this 5x9 envelope like so. It opens up. When your little guy comes out, you straighten the swing, and there he goes. Now, let's get into making this card. I'm going to be making 40 to send out to my list. How many will you be making? I have already cut all of my pieces. I have them arranged here on an old mat. You have some options before you go to cut. On the birch trees, you can use print and cut them so that the black marks are already on them. If you're making a lot of them, this is your better option. If you don't have print and cut, or you're just making one, you can just cut the trees out of white cardstock and then use a black Sharpie marker and quickly put on some birch type lines on each of the trees before you begin. This is quicker if you don't have print and cut, or if print and cut is a challenge for you. But I'm making 40 of them, so I want to use the print and cut versions. Also, on the messages, these are just little rectangles which will get glued here onto the sides. I did them as print and cut because I like them to cut with little curved corners. You can print them on little pieces. You can use a stamp. You can cut these on a paper cutter. It doesn't require print and cut. Okay, to get started, the first thing that I'm going to do is on the trees, you need to notice that there are 6 tree pieces. 3 of them have little semicircles on the left side, and 3 of them have little triangles cut out of the left side. It's important that you keep these 2 separate. They match themselves. First thing I'm going to do on the triangle side, this piece here goes right on top of that piece. In the card, these are the support pieces, and I want to double up the cardstock on those. I'm going to take this one, turn it over, and glue it together. The glue I'm using is Art Glitter Glue. It has no glitter in it. There's a link to it on my site, on the tutorial online. I haven't mentioned it yet, but before you do anything, you should go to the tutorial online. The address is noted on the screen, and that'll give you interesting hints, help, more information about this particular file. With all my tutorials, go to the online piece. Okay, this is true on both sides. Here I did the little triangle side. This is the little half circle side. If you're using all white, you want the half circle and the triangle that's cut out to be to your left. For those of us that did print and cut, it's easy to tell what side's the front because it has the printing on it. Try and make sure that the little hole lines up. It's not critical, but it does make assembly easier later if it does line up. Okay, now we want to turn these over and use the marker on the back side. Print and cut can only work on one side, and these are visible from both sides. Randomness is important as you do this. Okay, there we go. Now, the triangle tree is going to go on the right side of the pine tree. Take the pine tree, there's a dotted line up through the center, and fold it. The tree will get glued on right at the point where it starts curving up. You want to place it to be sure that these do not cross over this dotted line. And I am going to glue this in place. You'll notice not all areas have green behind it. It is easiest if you place this, turn it over, take a pencil. I want to make sure that my bottoms line up here. Take a pencil and draw the tree on the back so that you'll know where to place glue before you glue this tree down. I won't do the tips of the branches. I'm going to put a dot in the areas that get no glue. Take that away, and I'm going to put glue here and glue here. I am not going to put it behind this little semicircle. I want that to pop out later. Glue here, whoops, and up here. Okay. Let's take this tree. Remember, this is the tree with the triangle at the bottom. Line it up right here just before it starts curving up. Place it into place. Make sure that none of your branches go over the halfway mark there, and glue. I can now take my glue and easily apply it to the undersides of the little branches. Doesn't take a lot of glue, but you do want to give the tree as many support points as you can so that it doesn't fold up on you. Okay. Now, this is the triangle. I am going to take the triangle branch, and that is going to get placed right behind this little tab here. Pull that tab out. You will notice there's a dotted cut line on this branch, and I'm going to fold along that dotted cut line. I am going to put glue on the part of the tab that is below that dotted cut line and that fold. And I am going to glue this behind the tab on the tree here. Then I'm going to put a little bit of glue on this tab, fold it over the base, and fold that back. I would like that to dry well before I do much with it. The branch that has the semicircle out of it, the top V up here, these two are going to get glued together. And I'm going to glue these together now because that will assure my fit. If I glue the other tree over here and then try to eyeball it, it's not sure that these will meet up in the center. Just put glue on that V. Match those up and put that to the side to dry. I want this to dry well before I continue working it. So while I'm waiting for that, I can start working on the other accessories. There are the two signs. Now you don't have to use my sentiment. If you have if you have some stamps, you can stamp your own. But I have wishing you, for the outside of the card, a very Merry Christmas for the inside of the card. Those are ready. Now let's deal with our little gnome. Now, my heritage is Swedish, and in Sweden, they don't have gnomes, they have tomtas. And as I was growing up, I always had little tomtas around. So I really view this as a tomta, not a gnome. But first, the body will go on here. If you want to save time, you can create you can layer these parts and do print and cut. I like the layered papers for these. The beard, the bottom part of the beard will curl to the left, so you know what's up and down. A little bit of glue on that. It will line up with the edges if you get the right and left correct. Then the trim for the red hat. I'm going to switch to tweezers for the littler pieces. This is his nose, and I like it on my little tomtas when the noses overlap the hat and the eyes are all hidden. There are 2 little mittens, and they get positioned so that they overlap the belly just a little bit on each side. Make sure on the second one that you get glue on the back side, not the front side. They both look the same. The front ones are slightly larger than the back ones, so you shouldn't have any problem placing. Okay, there's our little guy. For my ropes on my swing, I use embroidery floss that is red. And for each swing, you will need a piece that is 12 inches long. Then I take a dental floss threader. You can use a needle if that's what you've got, but I like using dental floss threaders. This is the swing, and I forgot to put the boots on my guy. These little shapes that look like cupcakes are the Gnome's boots, and you only put glue at this point on the frosting part, the top part, and they overlap his belly there. Okay, the bottom part of these boots are tabs. These go through the 2 slits on the swing. You put them through the slits like so. You want the fold on the swing to be to the front. So I put them through the slits like this, and then I put glue behind the 2 tabs here. This is how we'll hold our little gnome onto the swing. And then I will put glue all along 1/2 of the swing here. And I will fold that in half along the dotted line. And then I will fold my Tomta's feet back, and there he is on his swing. Now we need to take the 12 inches of embroidery floss. I am using a dental floss threader as my needle. You can use a regular needle. From one side, I will thread down through the 2 holes. If I didn't line them up properly, I can use a regular needle and poke that hole through, but they should be there. Pull it through. Only one of the strings is to come through. Go across the bottom of the swing and come up through the hole on the other side. Like so. Now get your strings so they are about even. Put glue on the mitten in front of the thumb and glue the string in place. Same on the other mitten. Like so. Then I'm going to put glue on, these are the mitten fronts, to make it look like the mittens are wrapped around the rope. I especially want the glue on the back side of this. And then it gets put over the rope like so. And make sure that the back side is well stuck. The front side can be a little open because then it looks like it's wrapped around holding the rope. And we'll do the same on the other side. There we go. Okay, we can put our little tomta to the side and we can go back to our trees. This branch has a dotted folded line on it also, and you're going to fold that top branch back on that dotted folded line. That will get attached to this tree right here at the notch. Like so. We want it positioned like that, flat, so that when it all closes, it lies flat. And on pop-ups, if you can find ways like this, so that it lines up when it closes, it'll be easier. So on this, I had this going the wrong way, like so. So on this, I'm going to put glue here below the dotted line on the branch. And I'm going to slide that into the notch on the tree. And I'm going to squeeze it together, and I'm going to try and position the tree so it kind of lines up right here. Now I'm going to close the half, make a mark, and put glue below the mark. Now, I'm not going to get overly anxious and open this before that glue is dry. But I am going to glue other parts of this tree in place. I will get the little branches from the inside on the other side when I have better access. Have to be careful not to get it on the other side. While we're waiting for that to dry, the wishing you is going to go here on the outside. You line it up with the bottom and you do it there as a kind of a diagonal sign. Be careful not to do it too far out here or this will not fit in your envelope. The whole back is not covering green, so you don't want to put glue over the whole thing. About like so. I didn't want it at quite the angle it was at, like that. And I can get some glue up here and some glue down here. Let's open it up carefully, holding these, getting the folds to go back, and creating a fold up here. There, and you want to get it enough so that your card can open greater than 90 degrees. That'll create the little stage area for the swing. Okay, on the swing, I did not want to have to tie knots at the right height. So the way I'm doing this is I'm going to use my dental floss threader, and I need 2 tiny binder clips. Binder clips are my extra hands when I need them. I'm going to take the left rope here, put it through my dental floss threader, and thread it from the bottom up through the hole in the branch. Tiny little hole there. Should be a double going through both branches. If you didn't get your line up right, take a needle and poke it through. Okay, I've got that one through. Now I'll do the same on the other branch. Here's the hole. Guess I didn't get my hole lined up on that one, so I will take a needle here. Oh, I was in the wrong spot. There it is. Make sure that's clear. Get my dental floss threader. Thread it again. Find my hole. And thread the string through the other side. Now we want our little tomtom to hang evenly. The way I do this is I align one side and I want him about a 1/2 inch off the ground. I take my finger, hold it in place, I wrap the string around the front, under the bottom, and across the back of the branch here. And I take the binder clip and I clip it on the front edge. That's holding it in place. No, it's not. Try this again. That's holding it in place right there. I am then going to work to get my little guy even. To the front, to the back, over the top, and back to the front. Now let him stand and let's see if he's even. Let gravity do its job. And he's hanging too low on the right side. So I'm going to adjust this a little bit and try again. And this gives us some time to adjust it to get him fairly close to even. I tried doing this with knots, and boy, I had a hard time. There we go. I got him even now. So now I'm going to take this binder clip and hold the right side. I am then going to take my glue and put a good amount of glue on right where the embroidery floss goes over the branch on both sides. I want that glued in place. And I'm just going to leave that to dry, standing up for now. While I'm waiting, I can take my gold star. There is a dotted fold line on it. Fold it. And you can put glue on the bottom 2 legs, that bottom edge there. That will be touching the green. And it goes right up here in the peak, like so. Make sure you get it into that corner so that the card can still fold. Now, oh, I still have the other sign to put on. Here we go. A Very Merry Christmas is going to go over here, like so. Again, I'll put it on the stick, put it into place, and then put a little more glue up on this corner and a little more glue down in that corner. And there we go. A little swinging gnome bringing very Merry Christmas wishes to your friends. Now that this is open, I need to glue down a few more of these that I didn't get from the back side. The branches are stronger if you can have more glue points. That one especially. Would have been easier if I did this before I put the Tomten on. I will remember that on my next ones. And there we go. Okay. We will put him off to the side to let him dry. I expect that I am going to write my 2022 and from me down here, although I can also do it on the back, especially if I want to write more text to certain people. But there we go. A Christmas card for 2022. I also designed an envelope to go with this particular card. It will fit in a 6x9 booklet envelope, which you can buy in bulk. And if you're making a lot of cards, you might want to do that. But if you're only making a few, you might want to make your own envelope. The file is included with the download. It takes a 12x12-inch piece for the large part. Fold on all of the dotted lines. Two sides go in and the bottom goes up, and some glue on these edges. Glue in place. The glue I'm using is the art glitter glue. Needs about 5 seconds to dry. This piece will get glued on top here. You'll only put glue around the edges and then put it on the edges here so that you get it in the right places. And there we have a nice envelope. Now, when you put this in, you are going to have to flatten the swing and try to arrange your little gnome so that his hat doesn't get hit in the branches when it gets taken out. You slide it in. And there we go. Let him dry. I expect that I am going to write my 2022 and from me down here, although I can also do it on the back, especially if I want to write more text to certain people. But there we go. A Christmas card for 2022. I am now going to go and make 40 more. How about you? I wish you a very Merry Christmas. Have a wonderful time crafting. Thanks for watching. Have fun. Every year I send out handmade Christmas cards. I have for decades, and many of them were designed and made on my silhouette cutting machine. Many of these are available online at 3dcuts.com. Click on the store and go to the Christmas area. Have fun crafting.